It's 6 a.m. Your apartment's quiet. The world hasn't woken up yet, but you're awake, sitting at your kitchen table, phone in hand. A blank text message screen stares back at you. Your coffee's gone cold. You type a word, delete it. Typegen hesitate. Sound familiar? You're not trying to impress her. You're not chasing a reply. You just want to say something real. Something that cuts through the noise in your head. Something that doesn't feel like another performance. You've been here before, haven't you? Mind racing, overthinking every word. Wondering if she'll respond. Wondering if she'll care. Wondering if you're even saying the right thing. But what if you didn't need to wonder? What if a single text could be your anchor? Not to win her, but to ground you. To start your day with clarity, not chaos. This is Stoic Simple. Today we're talking about 7 good morning texts. Not tricks, not games. Just small, deliberate acts to connect without losing yourself. 7 ways to say something that matters and maybe, just maybe, leave her thinking about you. But before we start, if you've ever sat there, phone in hand, wondering if your words even matter, leave a sign below. Not for us to stand out, but so this video finds someone else who needs a moment to breathe. Let's begin. Text 1. The quiet spark. You wake up. Your phone's buzzing with notifications. Emails. Deadlines. Noise. But her name, it's still on your mind. You want to text her. But what do you say? Morning? Too plain. Hey, how's it going? Too generic. Try this instead. Morning. Had a dream about you, wild stuff. Tell me about your night. It's simple. It's short. But it's different. Why does it work? Because it's a spark, not a fire. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't spill everything. It just hints. Leaves a question mark in her mind. What was the dream? Why is he asking about my night? This is Stoic restraint in action. You're not chasing her reaction. You're not begging for a reply. You're just opening a door, letting her choose to walk through. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." When you send a text like this, you're in control, not of her, but of yourself. You're saying just enough to spark curiosity, and nothing more. Think about it. When was the last time you sent a text and didn't overthink it? When was the last time you let silence do the talking? I know a guy, let's call him Sam. Sam's a content creator, works freelance, always on his phone. He used to send these long, anxious texts to a girl he liked. Paragraphs about his day, his thoughts, his feelings. He'd wait, staring at his screen, hoping she'd reply. Most times, she didn't. Then he tried something new. One morning, he sent this. Morning. Dreamt we were on some crazy adventure. What's your morning like? No explanations. No follow-ups. Just that. She replied in 10 minutes. What kind of adventure? Spill. For the first time, she was curious. Not because Sam was trying harder, but because he was trying less. That's the quiet spark. It's not about her reply. It's about you choosing to be deliberate. Choosing to say less and mean more. What if you didn't need her to reply to feel okay? What if this text was just for you? A way to start your day with intention. Try it tomorrow. See what happens. Not to her, but to you. Text 2. The gentle notice. Your day's already started. Emails piling up. Slack messages blinking. But for a moment, you think of her. Not what she thinks of you. Not what she might say back. Just her. Who she is. What she's carrying. Here's a text to try. Morning. Noticed you've been grinding lately. Hope you get a moment to breathe today. Read that again. It's not flashy. It's not clever. It's just true. Why does it work? Because it sees her not as someone to impress, not as a prize to win, but as a person, someone with her own struggles, her own weight. This isn't about flattery. It's about presence. You're saying, I see you. I notice you. and I'm not asking for anything back. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you send a text like this, you're choosing thoughts that lift her, not thoughts that chase her approval. I know a programmer. Let's call him Jake. He's in his late 20s, works long hours, always overthinking his texts. He liked this girl at his co-working space. She was always busy, always stressed. He wanted to stand out, but didn't know how. One morning, he sent her this. "Morning. Saw you hustling on that project yesterday. Hope you get a coffee break today." No emojis, no pressure, just a small, human moment. She didn't reply right away, but later that day, she stopped by his desk. "Thanks for that text," she said. "It made my morning." Jake didn't expect that. He wasn't trying to get her. He was just being present. That's the gentle notice. It's not about winning her over. It's about showing up without needing her to notice. When was the last time you made someone feel seen? Not for a reply, not for attention, just because it felt right? What if you sent this text tomorrow? Not to change her, but to change you. To remind yourself you can act without expecting. Try it. See how it feels. Text 3. The open path. It's early. Your phone's screen glows in the dark. You're thinking about her again. Not what she's doing, not what she thinks of you, but what she dreams about when no one's watching. Here's a text to try. Morning. If you could wake up anywhere today, where'd you be? It's a question. A simple one. But it's not small talk. Why does it work? Because it invites her to dream, to pause and think, to share something real without pressure. It's not about her job, her plans, her to-do list. It's about her and what lights her up. This is Stoic connection. You're not forcing a conversation. You're not demanding her attention. You're just opening a path, letting her choose to walk it. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When you send a text like this, you're painting her morning with possibility, not obligation. I know a freelancer. Let's call him Ryan. He's a writer, always in his head. He met this girl at a coffee shop. They'd chat sometimes, but it never went deeper. He wanted to connect, but didn't want to seem pushy. One morning, he sent her this. "Morning. If you could be anywhere right now, where's that?" No agenda, no follow-up, just a question. She replied with a paragraph. Something about a quiet beach, far from the city. It wasn't just an answer. It was a piece of her. And that text led to a real conversation. That's the open path. It's not about getting her to like you. It's about giving her space to be herself. When was the last time you asked someone a question like that? Not to fill the silence, not to prove you're clever, but just to listen. What if you sent this text tomorrow? Not to start something, but to see what unfolds. Try it. Notice what changes. Not in her, but in you. Text 4. The fleeting wonder. Your alarm's off. The room's still dark. You're awake, thinking about her. Not what she's doing right now. Not if she's thinking of you, but about something that made you smile. Something small, but hers. Here's a text to try. Morning. Something happened last night that made me think of you. I'll tell you later. It's vague. It's light. But it's alive. Why does it work? Because it's a seed. A tiny piece of wonder planted in her day. She'll wonder, what happened? Why did it make you think of her? But you're not explaining. You're not chasing her curiosity. You're just letting it grow. This is Stoic control. You're choosing what to say and what to hold back. You're not manipulating. You're not playing games. You're just being intentional. Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. When you send a text like this, you're being someone who acts with purpose, not someone who reacts to silence. I know a writer. Let's call him Max. He's in his 30s, always second-guessing his texts. He liked this girl he met at a networking event. They text sometimes, but it felt flat, like he was trying too hard. One morning, he sent this. Morning. Saw something last night that reminded me of you. I'll tell you about it later. No details. No pressure. Just a spark. She replied, in an hour. Okay, now I'm curious. What was it? Max smiled and waited a bit before replying. Not to play games, but to stay calm. To stay in control. That's the fleeting wonder. It's not about her reply. It's about you, choosing to create a moment, without needing to own it. When was the last time you let silence speak for you? When was the last time you planted a seed and walked away? What if you tried this tomorrow, not to get her attention, but to see how it feels to be deliberate? Try it. Feel the difference. Text 5. The soft echo. It's morning. Your phone's in your hand. The world's still quiet, but your mind's awake. You're thinking about her, not what she's doing now, but a moment you shared, a laugh, a look, a memory that's still alive. Here's a text to try. Morning. Just remembered that day we laughed so hard at the coffee shop. What's a moment you can't forget? It's warm. It's real. It's not asking for anything but connection. Why does it work? Because it brings her back to something true. A moment that wasn't planned. A moment that wasn't forced. It's not about the future or the what-ifs. It's about what was and what still is. This is Stoic grounding. You're not chasing a fantasy. You're not dwelling on what might be. You're anchoring in what's real. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." When you send a text like this, you're choosing reality. A shared moment that doesn't need to be more. I know an office worker. Let's call him Tom. He's in his mid-20s, always overthinking his relationships. He liked this girl he'd known for a while. They'd drifted apart, texting less. He didn't know how to reconnect without seeming desperate. One morning, he sent this. Morning. Just thought of that time we got lost in the city. What's a memory that makes you smile? No agenda, no pressure, just a soft echo of something they shared. She replied with a story, a memory of her own. And just like that, they were talking again. Not because Tom pushed, but because he remembered. That's the soft echo. It's not about rekindling something. It's about honoring what was and letting it breathe. When was the last time you brought back a memory? Not to fix something, not to prove something, but just to feel it again? What if you sent this text tomorrow? Not to change her, but to remind yourself. What's real? Try it. See what it stirs. Text 6. The true glance. Your day's about to start. The world's waking up. But for a moment, you pause. You think of her. Not what she looks like. Not what she might say. But something deeper. Something only you've noticed. Here's a text to try. Morning. Your curiosity always gets me. What's something new you're diving into? It's specific. It's personnel. But it's not flattery. Why does it work? Because it sees her beyond the surface. It's not about her looks, her job, her status. It's about her essence. Something unique you've paid attention to. This is Stoic. Listening. You're not performing. You're not trying to impress. You're just observing and sharing what you see. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak." When you send a text like this, you're showing you've listened, not just to her words, but to who she is. I know a designer. Let's call him Alex. He's in his late 20s, always in his head, worrying about saying the wrong thing. He liked this girl he met at a workshop. She was passionate, always learning something new. He wanted to connect, but didn't want to seem fake. One morning, he sent this. Morning. Your energy for learning new stuff is contagious. What's the latest thing you're into? No fluff, no exaggeration. Just a true glance at who she was. She replied with excitement. Told him about a new project she was exploring. And that text turn into a real conversation. That's the true glance. It's not about compliments. It's about seeing someone and letting them know, you see. When was the last time you noticed something unique? Not to win someone over, not to stand out, but just because it was true. What if you sent this text tomorrow? Not to get a reply, but to practice seeing. Try it. Notice what shifts. Text 7. The light touch. It's morning. The world's still soft. Before the chaos begins. You're thinking about her, not with pressure, not with expectations, but with a smile. A moment of lightness you want to share. Here's a text to try. Morning. Dreamt I was a pirate last night. Guess who was my first mate? It's playful. It's silly. But it's human. Why does it work? Because it brings a smile without trying too hard. It's not about being funny. It's not about being clever. It's about breaking the monotony. Giving her a reason to laugh. This is Stoic balance. You're not always serious. You're not always deep. You're just alive. Choosing joy in a small way. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." When you send a text like this, you're choosing to create a moment, not to control her reaction, but to feel your own. I know a marketer, let's call him Chris. He's in his early 30s, always juggling deadlines. He liked this girl he worked with. Their texts were polite but stiff, like they were both afraid to be real. One morning he sent this. Morning. Had the weirdest dream I was a superhero, and you were my sidekick. What's your superpower today? No strategy, no overthinking, just a light touch of humor. She laughed, replied with a joke of her own, and for the first time, their texts felt easy. That's the light touch. It's not about making her laugh. It's about letting go, letting the moment be what it is. When was the last time you made someone smile? Not to impress them, not to get something back, but just because it felt good? What if you sent this text tomorrow, not to change anything, but to remind yourself, you can be light. Try it. See how it feels. Let's pause. You're still here, aren't you? Maybe your coffee's cold now. Maybe your phone's still in your hand. But something's different. You're not racing, not overthinking. You're just here. These 7 texts, they're not magic. They're not formulas. They're just choices. Small ways to show up without losing yourself. To connect without chasing. To be without needing. Stoicism isn't about being cold. It's not about shutting people out. It's about being deliberate. Choosing your actions, not your outcomes. Finding calm in what you can control. What if you didn't need her reply to feel whole? What if you didn't need her attention to know your worth? What if these texts were just for you? A way to start your day with intention, with clarity, with you. Tomorrow morning, try one. Not to win her, not to prove anything, but to see what it's like to act and let go. And if this felt like a moment to breathe, share it with someone who needs it. Not for us, for them. Until next time, keep it simple, keep it stoic. Just keep showing up